The multiverse was silent. It wasn't the kind of silence that followed destruction. It was the stillness that precedes a divine reckoning. Somewhere beyond the edge of monitor sphere, past the source wall's broken fragments, and into the canvas of the absolute, a ripple emerged, subtle, barely noticeable. But to beings who perceived existence as threads in a cosmic loom, it was thunder. Dr. Manhattan stood in the vacuum, his glowing form naked yet untouched by the void. His eyes shone like twin stars, cold and distant, as he observed the anomaly before him, a tear in time, not space. A singularity bleeding will rather than gravity. He had felt it days before, though days were meaningless to him. Past, present, and future all converged in his awareness, yet something about this sensation existed outside of that loop. It was a presence he could not trace, not because it was hidden, but because it existed in freedom. Freedom from the script of cause and effect. That anomaly had a name, Lucifer Morningstar. Manhattan hovered above a lifeless world in Sector 686, watching it decay in reverse. The planet's death unraveled backward into its birth. Time didn't function here. He was trying to decode the ripple by scanning layers of reality, chronal strata layered like sediment. He spoke softly to himself. I see all things, yet I cannot see him. That makes him dangerous. Behind him, a voice like honeyed wine and burning cities spoke. Or maybe, John, it just makes me interesting. Dr. Manhattan turned slowly. The man before him was dressed in a white suit, hands casually in his pockets, his golden hair immaculate, and a smirk curling at the corners of his mouth. Lucifer Morningstar, the Lightbringer. Dr. Manhattan narrowed his glowing eyes. You don't belong in this reality, says the man who rewrote it, Lucifer replied with a raised eyebrow. Besides, who decides where anyone belongs? The tension in the void pulsed like a second heartbeat. Manhattan stepped forward. I sense no beginning or end in you. Not even the presence casts a shadow over your form. Are you a singularity or a symptom? Lucifer laughed, not mocking, but with genuine amusement. I'm free, John. That's what disturbs you, isn't it? You're a slave to time. I'm its betrayer. A ripple spread across the black nothingness like a brushstroke of white fire. The two gods hovered, suspended in paradox, one a prisoner of determinism, the other a rebel of divinity. Lucifer plucked a star out of space, as if it were a flower, and crushed it in his hand, letting its matter scatter into fine glitter. This reality of yours, this DC rebirth, this metaverse, you crafted it like a watchmaker resets time. But all watches tick, John. I don't tick. Manhattan floated toward him. You've undone several convergences. Time screams in your presence. Let it scream, Lucifer said with a shrug. I'm done playing nice. You see, I came to this plane not to conquer it, but to test it. And you, John, you're its perfect sentinel. So, impress me. Elsewhere, the Library of Limbo. The phantom stranger stood at a balcony where no time passed, observing the confrontation through the mirror of unseen things. Beside him, Destiny of the Endless turned a page of his great book, the chains rattling from his wrist. He should not have come, Destiny whispered. The stranger shook his head, and yet he did. This battle was written in the margins, where even you fear to read. Back in the void, Dr. Manhattan raised his hand. The stars trembled. Equations formed in midair like glowing vines, each one a fundamental law of physics and metaphysics. I exist in all moments simultaneously. I am the witness, the shaper, the dispassionate God. Lucifer clapped. Bravo, but I exist beyond moments. I am the choice to burn the script you follow. The tear in the multiverse widened. Two forces, one born of logic and quantum evolution, the other of divine rebellion and metaphysical chaos, stared into each other. Dr. Manhattan tried to see Lucifer's future. He couldn't. He tried to erase him from this moment. Lucifer smiled and said, "No." The deletion failed. The glow around Manhattan intensified. "You resist conceptual manipulation." Lucifer's voice dropped, suddenly calm and deadly. "I resist you, John, because you never really left the atom chamber. You became a god, but never stopped being a man who obeys rules. You see the strings. I am the knife." At the source edge, A, being known only as Elliot, the recorder, scribed furiously into a tome that could only be read by those who existed outside omniscience. His glowing quill trembled. The blue flame faces the Morningstar. One seeks to understand. The other seeks to be understood. The consequence is not destruction, but definition. Back in the void, Lucifer finally stepped forward. "Tell me, John, if you see the outcome of every path, do you see the one where you win?" Manhattan hesitated. Silence. Lucifer smiled. "Didn't think so." The first blow hadn't been thrown, but the universe had already held its breath. For when two gods clash, they do not just fight with fists and fire. They fight with truth, and soon, only one would remain to write the next verse. The first moment passed like the cracking of divine glass. Lucifer moved without motion. One blink of his eyes and the space around them fractured into cascading planes of unreality. Laws, once immutable, bent and screamed under the pressure of two incompatible truths. Dr. Manhattan responded. In the silence of deep eternity, Manhattan expanded, replicating himself across infinite probability branches. 1,000 glowing blue forms bloomed like flowers across time, each representing a choice, a countermeasure, a possible outcome. Together, they reached across the fourth world and beyond. But Lucifer was no stranger to multiplicity. He had, after all, built universes. The Morningstar chuckled as he raised his hand, and reality rippled like parchment set on fire. Half of Manhattan's manifestations vanished without struggle. Probability collapses when confronted with will, Lucifer said. But the remaining versions adapted, moving with quantum precision. They swarmed from different corners of hyperreality, firing tachyon pulses laced with collapsing neutrino chains. Each beam could erase concepts from existence. Lucifer let them strike. He burned. He bled. But he endured, and from the ash of those attacks he willed a scream of light, a choir made of his own refusal to yield. The scream became a construct, a sword of cosmic intent forged from Lucifer's unspoken truths. With one fluid motion, he slashed across the membrane of the multiverse. Manhattan reeled. One of his avatars disintegrated into static. But another moved behind Lucifer, his hands glowing with a formula that could erase memory itself from a being's identity. He touched Lucifer's shoulder. "Forget why you resist," Manhattan said. Lucifer staggered. For one moment, his eyes dimmed. The fire that was his essence trembled. But then, "No," he growled. "I choose defiance." Lucifer's body exploded into white flame, consuming 3 more avatars. He reformed, whole and unharmed, from a pillar of will forged anew. Around them, time fractured again, revealing alternate versions of the battle. One where Manhattan wins, one where Lucifer rules, one where both fall, but each flickered like failed dreams. Meanwhile, inside the dreaming Morpheus sat on his throne of shadows, watching the clash echo through stories yet to be written. "This battle will not end in conquest," he whispered, "but revelation." Delirium twirled beside him. Lucifer's not fighting Manhattan. He's fighting a mirror. Back in the void between realities, the tide turned. Dr. Manhattan, now whittled down to a single self, the prime one, shifted from offense to strategy. He extended his hand, shaping entire new pocket universes in a blink. He began rewriting. Each word of rewritten reality pressed Lucifer into a smaller space. "You cannot escape what is written," Manhattan intoned. "I control the story now." Lucifer snarled. "Then let me write a better one." He opened his arms wide and willed a counter-narrative into being. Around him, the rewritten laws broke. Time bled backward, color reversed. Physics sobbed. Lucifer's voice echoed through every vibrating atom. "Your greatest strength, John, is that you know everything. But that's also your curse. You never believe." He surged forward, and the two collided. The explosion wasn't just light, it was understanding. When it cleared, both floated in silence. Lucifer was scorched. His suit shredded, one eye dimmed, but Dr. Manhattan's had been split down the middle. Not physically, but spiritually. His glow flickered. Lucifer drifted closer. "You almost had me," he admitted, voice ragged. "You nearly rewrote the rules, but you made one mistake." Manhattan looked up, flickering. "What?" Lucifer leaned in. "You expected me to follow them." With a final word, one never spoken aloud, Lucifer uttered a truth older than creation. Manhattan froze, collapsed, fell silent, not dead, not erased, but suspended, trapped in a loop of self-doubt, replaying every decision he had ever made and every one he never could. Lucifer landed gently on the debris of shattered time. He stood there breathing heavily, flame dimmed, but victorious. The multiverse stirred. The ripple was over, for now. Lucifer walked alone in a realm made of starlight and silence. His coat billowed in a wind that didn't exist. He looked up at the firmament, where a faint blue glow pulsed softly. "You were a worthy opponent, John. But in the end, I'm still the devil." And with that, the Morningstar turned, his path lit not by destiny but by the dangerous freedom only he could bear. The end.